Give the call to the Leader of the Opposition.
Deputy Speaker, I move that so much of the standing and sessional orders be suspended as would prevent the following. 1. The order of the day for the resumption of debate on the Treasury Laws Amendment, Tax Reform No. 2 Bill of 2026, being called on immediately. 2. Debate on the second reading of the bill continuing for a period of no longer than 1 hour. 3. Questions then being immediately put on any second reading amendments and on the second reading of the bill. 4. Consideration in detail then proceeding immediately with the Leader of the Opposition being permitted to move amendments which are not relevant to the subject matter of the bill. And 5. Any questions necessary to complete the remaining stages of the bill then being put immediately. Speaker, yesterday marked 90 days since Labor's bin fire of a budget, a budget full of toxic taxes, taxes on housing, taxes on savings, taxes on investment, taxes on small businesses, some of the very hardest working Australians, on shares, on crypto, on every asset class. Deputy Speaker, taxes on aspirational young Australians trying to build a nest egg, taxes on family businesses who work day and night, weekday and weekend to try to make ends meet, on farmers, on charities, and the cruellest tax of them all, Deputy Speaker, the cruellest tax of them all, a wicked tax on widows and divorcees. A wicked tax, Deputy Speaker. What type of government thinks that it's acceptable to whack a tax on Australians who are grieving at the loss of a spouse or a partner? What type of government sees dollar signs when looking at someone who's gone through a traumatic breakup, Deputy Speaker? What type of government is so desperate for money that it goes after Australians who are the victims of family and domestic violence? I'll tell you what type of government, Deputy Speaker. A government that has lost its moral compass. Lost its moral compass. A government so heartless that it goes after Australians who are heartbroken and hurt. The justifiable public backlash to Labor's budget is of a magnitude unlike anything we have seen in recent times. Australians are rightly calling it the worst budget in living memory. Labor's budget has blown up in its faces, and don't they know it? That's why they've proposed carve-outs, Deputy Speaker, and that's why the Treasurer wanted extraordinary powers to make captain's calls. And that's why when the Treasurer appeared on the ABC's Insiders program and was asked about his widow's tax, he said he would fix it. He said it. Well, more than 40 days have passed since the Treasurer made that promise. His word ain't his bond, Deputy Speaker, that's for sure. And where's the legislation? It's nowhere to be seen. Instead, the government is doing a 2-week consultation period before it brings forward any legislation. Now, Deputy Speaker, lazy Labor is doing the consultation now that it should have done before the budget. And all this procrastination and delay means one thing: the government won't fix its cruel widows' tax until as late as September or even October at best. And who knows, Deputy Speaker, because you never know when this government says something whether it is ever going to happen. In the meantime, widows, divorcees and victims of family and domestic violence will be hit by Labor's toxic taxes. We've seen the ramifications of this tax. News.com.au recently reported on the effects of the widow's tax on a 44-year-old domestic abuse victim. The woman couldn't refinance an investment property she co-owned with her ex-partner because of Labor's negative gearing changes. And that means she could lose a retirement asset she spent more than 15 years building. The widow's tax is completely unacceptable, and we're not going to let Labor get away with it. We're not going to let this government's incompetence and inaction injure Australians one moment longer. So, Deputy Speaker, today we seek to suspend standing orders to force the government to fix its Treasury Laws Amendment Bill. We want the widow's tax gone. Gone, Deputy Speaker. And we're putting forward an amendment to the government's bill to repeal Labor's widow's tax. If the government is serious about fixing the problem it has created, it should welcome our amendment today. The widow tax can be scrapped in this sitting period, right now, and there's no reason this mean-spirited tax shouldn't be scrapped in this sitting period. Deputy Speaker, we have another amendment too. Under the Albanese Labor government's watch, 30 businesses a day. 30 businesses a day are going bust. That's a record number. Small and family businesses where their dreams are going up in smoke in record numbers. They're feeling the pressure that Labor has put on them on every front: higher taxes, soaring energy bills, choking regulation, and they need tax relief. They need renewed confidence. They need to be able to reinvest in their businesses, which is also an investment in their communities and in our country. In the Coalition's budget reply, I announced our plan to back small and family businesses, those with a turnover of under $10 million, with a permanent $50,000 instant asset write-off. So today we seek to amend the government's bill to legislate our small business tax deduction, which would be welcome relief for those hard-working small and family business people who are doing it so tough right now. Deputy Speaker, just as small businesses need tax relief, so do hard-working Australians. Inflation doesn't simply make prices increase, and in fact we know they've been increasing faster than incomes. When Australians' wages rise to keep up, at least attempt to keep up with inflation, their income is creeping into higher tax brackets. This is a dirty little secret of this government. The higher inflation goes and the longer it lasts, the more Australians are paying in income tax every single year through bracket creep, and the more the Albanese government takes from Australians every year. It turns out that the Treasurer's homegrown inflation, their inflation, is driving up their tax revenues, and they love it, Deputy Speaker. But I tell you who doesn't love it: the Australian people. And in the Coalition's budget reply, I announced our plan to stop this dishonest inflation tax. We will index tax thresholds to protect Australians' incomes from inflation. A typical worker will be better off $250 in year one, $500 in year two, $750 year three, $1,000 year four, and much more than that at current inflation rates, which are well above the targeted 2.5%. Our policy will give Australians a bigger tax cut each year than Labor would without those tax increases. This is genuine tax reform, Deputy Speaker. This is what tax reform is about, not raising taxes, as those opposite define it. So today I call on the government to support our tax-back guarantee. Now, Deputy Speaker, if Labor is for scrapping its widow's tax, if Labor is for providing small and family businesses with proper tax deductions at a time when they need it most, if Labor is for providing every Australian with a bigger and better income tax cut, then the Albanese government will welcome this debate and agree to the amendments that the Coalition has put forward today. Everything we are asking for here today is reasonable, and the choices for the Albanese government are very simple. They're very simple. Labor can act in the national interest or remain stubbornly self-interested, Deputy Speaker, and sadly we see it repeated time and time again. They are stubbornly self-interested. But here's an opportunity to show Australians they're prepared to act in the national interest. Labor can show some humility or double down with their hubris. Labor can seek some redemption and fix their bad budget, or fix nothing and face further condemnation from Australians. Australians are watching, Deputy Speaker. They want better, and here's an opportunity for Labor to give it to them.
Is this